and welcome to Just Do It, a Dewey Brothers podcast, or should I say, sizzling hot cooking show. That's right. We got the latest in hot bites coming from the one bachelor pad to another. If you need to cook up something hot, and that's the only qualification, then we're here for you.
And not even hot. If you just gotta prepare something that provides sustenance, you look no further than the Dewey Bros podcast. Just do it.
Do you get your groceries from the corner store? We're the place for you. We got hot pockets and pocket hots. We got them all.
Also, we have brand new cold pockets. Keep them in your freezer and they're hot pockets that you leave in the freezer and you don't heat them up because the power went out and you still need some sustenance. You got
lukewarm pockets are also delicious.
Those are the ones that you leave out for a little too long because you forgot that you brought them out to put them in the microwave, and then you just you have them.
All right, Eric. Well, before we get into our flavor-packed podcast, now with Smell-O-Vision, although I don't know how many of our listeners have Smell-O-Vision capable snifferators, so maybe they'll have to upgrade their computer for that. But we're sending it out in the Broadway, on the radio waves. Before that, I want to do some local news, Eric. Yeah,
it's the local news.
That's right. In your local Vermont news, the Rutland Raiders had to change their mascot because it turns out
of political correctness.
Yeah. Apparently, you cannot depict Native Americans as raiders. I thought that.
Oh, see, Alex, that's actually surprising because I always assumed that raiders wasn't Native Americans, but it was Ku Klux Klan members riding into battle.
Oh, well, I can see the confusion, especially because their mascot, Chief Raider, always carries around a baby that he's stolen, and then he passes it around like a football at the football games.
Does that have to pertain to our topic today at all? Like, were the Raiders
we just
eating anything?
had to get some. No. Well, I mean, whatever horrible racist caricatures you could come up with. I wanted to get some local news in.
Alex, this is the Just Do It podcast where we could, if we wanted to, come up with some very, very heinous racist characters.
Well, I mean, you heard about the other school mascots, right, Eric?
The Otter Creek Crows, which was just Jim Crow in disguise. Yeah.
Yep, that one was bad. Tough. The dirty Derby Democrats was an interesting take on a school mascot. Wasn't
very interesting. I do have to say I was not ready for the Brattleboro back of the bussers. That was kind of tough.
That
was an interesting
who'd have thought that one was actually racist? You know what I mean? Like, I thought that was innocent fun.
I mean, I do recall from that one Supreme Court case, Brown v. Board of Education, some things are not deemed separate but equal, including the back of the bus. So that was kind of tough.
Yeah, that's true. Don't forget the South Burlington slaveholders. They had to change their name to the Rebels, and then they had to change it again, actually. So I think they're the Wolves.
I think they're like the Timberwolves or the Wolves. Yeah. And then you can't forget the Chinden Confederates.
I mean, turns out this state, oh man, just full of bad influences in our grade school.
Although it is a miracle that the Northeast Kingdom has not changed theirs of the slave owning kings of the kingdom.
Oh no, those are the pimp kings, Eric. They're not. They're fine.
Oh, actually. You're right. Yeah, the pimp kings of the Northeast Kingdom.
The Northeast pimp kings are fine. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. They're never gonna change. You can't. Everything that goes on in the North Country, that's North Country business. You aren't gonna bother with that.
Well, I mean, how could we be upset at their mascot, Kingaroo? So.
I mean, hey, the Pimperoo's running a good, hard-earned business up there.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, other than that, it turns out, a myriad of school chain name changes and stuff. Probably for the better, right? So I just wanted to get that local news out there.
Yeah, I mean, I know they initially started talking about these things in the turn of the last century, but Turns out slow process that government thing is, man.
Really, it is slow. It's slow coming around for sure.
Do you know what
You remember?
else is slow, Alex?
Yeah.
How I like to cook my pot roast.
All right. Well, Eric, now that we're back on we're back on the cook show. Now we've got the.
You're
the
right.
news
I
out of the
tried
way.
to segue it back into what we're
Yeah.
doing.
So let's give this the people they need structure at home. Okay, we're gonna break it down. Each of us has come up with a 3-course meal with ingredients that are in our house right now, in our apartments. And so we're gonna take turns walking you through a 3-course meal to get you through any fancy occasion. Okay, Eric?
Okay.
I'm going to start us off with a little appetizer, as they call it. You have to insist it's an appetizer, okay? If any, your friends come over, be like, I'm making an appetizer. They're going to say appetizer. They're wrong. It's an appetizer. I'll tell you why.
No, you gotta tease them. You gotta tease them.
You got to tease them. So
you're like, almost. You almost got some food, but I'm teasing you. You almost got it. You almost got a full meal, but not quite. You almost got it again. Oh God, he got it. He got it. Oh my goodness. Where did this man come from? He took all the teasers. He took all the apps. Holy crap, he's getting a whole meal out of the appetizers. Oh God.
This one I like to call crisp, fresh fruits and salad plus. Okay, so here's what you're gonna do. Yep, you're gonna take some apples because that's why they're apple teasers. All right, whatever apples you have lying around, cut out the brown spots, slice them real thin. Okay,
I do have a lot of apples with brown spots right now. I'm not very good at eating apples regularly.
Yeah, you don't have to use apples. Pears work. Really hard plums. Maybe a kiwi that's not yet ripe. Okay.
Interesting.
Any of those, slice them nice so you get that crunch in there. Okay. Then you're going to add to that. You're going to go pilfer the frozen veggies section of your fridge. Now, normally I like to mix in something leafy like frozen spinach, but today we're going with frozen peas. Okay, because that's what's in the frozen vegetable section of my fridge. You're gonna warm those up a little bit by zapping them in the microwave, but not enough to get them really warm because you don't want a hot salad. You just want a nice, refreshing salad. Okay, so you're gonna mix the peas in there with the fruit. All right. Then this is where it's gonna get exciting. We're gonna make a vinaigrette. So that's really easy. You're gonna bust out the olive oil. You're gonna bust out the whatever vinegar you have. Okay, rice wine vinegar is fine. Red vinegar is fine. White vinegar is okay. All of those will work. Apple cider vinegar, that one's pretty primo. You're gonna mix olive oil, vinegar, 50-50, whisk that bad boy up, and then douse over your pea and apple salad. Now, that's going to be the appetizer from my end. What do you have for an appetizer over there, Eric? Make sure when you're plating this, by the way, you put it in the small dessert bowl, okay? For dessert, we're actually going to be using plates, so you can use your little dessert bowls. Or in my case, I only have one size bowl, so it's going in there. And then when you're done eating that, you can rinse that bowl out and then put in your main course.
See, that is some good tips and tricks right there. Personally, for me, my go-to appetizer, we got that poor man bruschetta. So you're gonna take whatever bread you have. All right, it's probably oat nut or 12 grain, 16 grain maybe, or hey, maybe just some split top wheat. But you're gonna take that and you're gonna put it in the toaster or toaster oven. We aren't too picky. And you're gonna toast that. You're gonna toast it up and get it nice and firm, nice and crisp. And then you're gonna take some red sauce on top of that. You're gonna crack open a brand new fresh jar of red sauce. You're gonna be like,
hey,
wow.
Eric, I got a question about this red sauce. Should I be using Prego or Ragu?
Ragu is the devil's work. Prego is not much better, but you gotta go with Prego. That's the purgatory sauce. So you're gonna crack open your purgatory sauce and just
right, because I'm a bottom shelf tomato sauce buyer. Okay, I go to the red sauce aisle. I look at the very bottom.
Hey, we are like Planet Fitness here, which is a no judgment zone. So we will not judge you for your choice of red sauces, no matter how wrong it is. And definitely don't get that rat juice, which is ragu. Get the purgatory sauce, which is Prego, because that's what all the Prego ladies want. You're gonna get your cheap Prego. Yeah, take a spoon, fork, knife, I don't know, some sort of utensil. Use your hands for all I
Whoa,
care.
Eric. You said
Mm-hmm.
the cheap Prego. I got the bougie Prego, okay? I
Oh, the
got
one with the basil in it?
the one with the basil in it.
Oh shit, that's good. That's good. See, that's a good substitute, but we're gonna add basil anyways later. It's okay.
Alrighty.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that sauce. You're gonna scoop it out with utensil of choice. I like using my fingers because I can lick them clean and I don't have to do any dishes. So I'm gonna scoop out some of that, just slather it over that slightly toasted bread that you have. All right.
Yeah, I got that. I'm following.
All right. Good. So you're gonna spread that all over there, and boom. That's your basic poor man bruschetta right there. But to take it up one little notch, do you know what you're gonna do?
Is it a bam from my Spice Weasel?
Not quite. You're gonna reach into your cabinet and you're gonna pull out your balsamic vinaigrette. If you don't have balsamic, that's okay. Any vinegar will do. You're gonna take your vinegar. For me, I just have my apple cider vinegar right here, so I'm gonna take it and I'm just gonna put some spritzes all over that right there. And bam, boom, bada bing. Garnish that with some green things. I prefer grass from outside. But basil or parsley work better. But some green things on top. You got your vinegar, and then you're just gonna chomp that thing right away.
Yeah, for me, Eric, I keep costs down by stealing my herbs out of my neighbor's herb garden.
See, that's good. I don't have a neighbor with an herb garden. I just have neighbors that are currently spreading manure, and oh my god, is it stinky! I wake up and I'm like, what is that smell? And it's just manure, and it goes right into your lungs. I've been eating manure, Alex. It's tough.
Well, Eric, the state of Vermont has actually mandated that instead of saying the smell of manure, we call it the smell of fresh farms. So,
I can appreciate a fresh farm.
also, we're keeping it real classy today. So, you're going to top off each meal with a big old glass of tap water, okay? Eric, what is it about tap water that just adds to the flavors of your bruschetta?
Well, you see, tap water is it comes in all sorts of sizes and shapes, sizes, and flavors. Most particularly the lead. The extra bits of lead in there really bring out sort of the key notes that you're looking for in one of those bruschettas. It pairs well with that hard biting vinegar and the smoothness of your Prego sauce. The bread sort of soaks it in and gives it a nice little vessel to like take that in. But yeah, I mean there's something about cleansing your palate as well as taking like 20 to 30 years off of your lifespan with some of that good clean tap water.
Here, hold on. Let me take a little quick taster of my tap water here. Oh yeah, that's so. You're gonna want to just gulp it down, open the hatch really, because you got to stay hydrated.
Yeah, of course.
The nice finish on the Woburn water is PFAS for me. No lead. That's all in the walls, but the water has a nice PFASy finish, which calcifies and hardens the kidneys, which is gonna help really round out the flavor profile I'm looking for with my main tonight, Eric. So today we're doing a classic. This is called Bachelor Chow. All right. Here's what you're gonna do.
Okay.
We're gonna take a classic and we're gonna bam, wham, thank you, ma'am, knock it up a notch. First, you go find Price Chopper macaroni and cheese dinner. Okay.
Ooh,
Now the thing about Price Chopper macaroni and cheese dinner is that
it's cheap.
yeah, the noodles are of such a low quality that I really, in order to add some stiffness to them, just boil the whole box. Get the cardboard in there too.
See, that's one of those things that they don't tell you on the box. They're too afraid for you to, experience it to its full
You
potential.
can actually use the cardboard box as a colander to speed the process up.
Oh, interesting.
Yep, and impart some of those woody flavors into your pasta. So after you get the water nice and boiled and the pasta strained off, you're going to add 1 tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of butter and the entire cheese sauce packet, okay? Now,
Good to know.
yep, you're gonna mix that all up after you take the heat down low and set that aside. While that's cooling down, you're gonna find the best Mackenzie Franks you can find. Okay, any hot dog will do.
I will say, for all of our younger listeners out there, I don't think there are any, but those Gen Zers, what you call a glizzard or a glizzy, that's what we're talking when we say hot dog, okay?
Exactly. So you get your dogs and you get them hot. All right. Slice them up into little roundels and then get them in the pan, get them sizzling, do a little shaky. Now, here is if you want to get exotic, okay? If you actually want to have a complete vitamin profile tonight, you're going to get some broccolis, okay? You're going to take the broccolis,
Ooh,
you're going to throw them right in the pan,
okay.
saute them up too. All right.
Sauteed broccoli.
Just get them nice and hot with the oil. Keep them moving. Don't let them stick, okay?
All right.
Then you're going to take that whole pan, dump her in with your macaroni and cheese, set that down, get out the shaker cheese, okay? We ain't rich, we get the shaker cheese. Make sure it says cheese. I was tricked once. I saw not cheese in a shaker. Now let me
And
tell
it said
you, that was
chiz.
an abomination. It was cheese-free cheese, low-fat cheese.
Oh,
You want the extra
Jesus
fat
Christ.
cheese.
Oh, dear Lord.
It was some sort of cheese substitute.
Not
Not
in
okay.
our house.
Exactly. We only have real shaker cheese with extra sawdust. Plus, you have extra cardboard in there to really bulk it up. Now, take that, bam, with the Spice Weasel shaker cheese on top of there. Give her a good stir, and you're ready to go, Eric. That's some grade A Bachelor chow right there. What is your mains? And how is it going to live up to the cheesy delight that is Bachelor chow?
My main dish is none other than Eric's famous penne lo mein, okay?
Ooh, nice.
So, do you know what you're going to do? You're going to grab a box of penne noodles, because I know you aren't making noodles yourself. You're going to grab a box, preferably the cheapest box of penne noodles you can buy. We want the biggest penne as well. Anyone that says mini penne or better, not for Eric's famous penne lo mein. And you're gonna cook that up, okay? While that's cooking, you're gonna take a pan over onto the grill, and by grill I mean stovetop here. You just gotta heat it up, and you're gonna throw in a bunch of whatever veggies you like. For me personally, I like onions, so I'm gonna put in some onions. And you know what else I like? Carrots, but carrots aren't going in there, so I'm not putting carrots in there. So you're gonna be sautéing up some onions. Throw some mushrooms in there too. Start sauteing the onions before the mushrooms because let's be real, I like my onions nice and like that completely deconstructed, whereas the mushrooms got a little bite to them still. Like there's a little bit in there. Saute's almost juice filled. That's what I mean. Onions almost juice filled, but mushrooms you got a little crunch to them. Then you are going to take your frozen veggies and you're going to be like, I got some peas, I got some corn, I got some green beans, I got some frozen carrots for whatever reason, I got some like broccoli maybe, or like more beans, like I don't know. You're just gonna throw them all in there.
Frozen peas, if that helps.
It's all of your frozen goods. You are all of your frozen veggies. Might I add, just throw them in there. It doesn't matter what. You're gonna throw it in there into your pot, and it's gonna be starting heating up and sizzling. You're gonna be like, "Whoa, what's this? This is kind of cool." In the same pan, of course, that you have your onions and mushrooms in, and then you're gonna put some sesame oil in there. If you don't have any sesame seeds, don't worry about it. You can use other oil like sesame oil, and that's it. Only use sesame oil. It's the only thing that makes it tasty. And then once you got that going, you got all your goodies, and your pasta's boiling, your pasta's ready. It is 2 minutes past the al dente stage because you want it nice and sort of soft and lubricated up. You also should have some chicken cooking. I forgot to mention this, but you're going to get your chicken going. That also, sesame oil, your pan frying, you cut up your chicken breast, nice thin slices, and that's going to be cooking on the stove as well.
Yeah, it goes without saying that all the pasta that we are cooking tonight will be well done because you can never trust a stiff pasta. You want it to be floppy and loose, right, Eric?
Floppy, a little watery, and downright like spineless. Okay, I don't want my pasta talking back to me in the streets. I want that thing to be a little yellow coward. Okay, and then you're gonna throw the chicken into your stir fry, which stir fry is a term I've coined, which is all of your veggies sort of in that one pan, and you're gonna throw some like soy sauce, some Worcestershire, if you got it. Don't do Worcestershire though. Worcestershire's not worth it. Teriyaki, I meant to say. Actually, any brown sort of sauce you find in your kitchen is good enough for me. Brown or black sauce that you have, it might be in the fridge. It might be just in the cleaning agents. Who knows? But you're gonna throw that into the pan. You're gonna mix it all up, and then you're gonna put your pasta after you strain it, of course, and it's nice and soft and weak and yellow bellied. You're gonna throw it into that pan as well, and then you're gonna mix it all up. Put it onto a plate, and bam, you are ready to eat well.
That is delicious. I can smell it over the smell-o-vision, Eric. It smells like sesame oil, and that's all it smells like, actually.
It really
it's
only
delicious.
smells like sesame oil. Maybe a little bit of
Mhm.
protein, which is the chicken, but that doesn't really have a smell. It's the sesame oil.
Now, Eric, I know you don't have a lot of time, so this is why for my dessert, you're going to want to start preparing it this morning, okay? So what I did this morning to get it ready is I took a bag of gummy bears, okay?
I like that.
Yeah, I forgot them in my car all day long. So the sun heated them up, and they all melted together. All right.
Melted a little bit.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna call this one gummy bear sashimi. Okay, so you're gonna peel it out of the package, get the plastic out of there, discard that, and then cut it into thin little strips. Okay, take a nice sharp knife and really cut against the grain of the coagulated, liquefied. You have to make sure it hardens before you take it out of the package. Gummy mass, all right, and then you get a bunch of nice little strips and then lay those out on the plate, and you can just eat those raw. They're delicious. So that's going to be my dessert. Again, remember, you do have to. It takes a whole day to prepare, but also it takes forgetfulness to prepare. So I think it evens out.
See, I was gonna say I love that idea. I love that you let nature do the work for you. Okay.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I mean, I see my dessert is a little more complex, which is it requires a lot of thought and a lot of work. So you need to go to the store and get yourself some milk. 2%, best milk. Whole milk makes you too fatty. You can't work with that. I don't need any help with that. This one's for our overweight crowd that's trying to lose a few pounds, okay? You're gonna get that milk, you're gonna pour it into a glass, and you're looking at this glass and you're like, huh, that's some good looking milk right there. And that's when it hits you. Take all the sweets that you have, throw them into that milk glass, and just be like, oh my goodness, what is this? You got a little bit of Hershey bar. You got some leftover cookies. You got, I don't know, a gummy worm or a gummy bear or two. Everything sweet is going into this mix. You got a little bit of bitter cocoa powder? Not in this drink. That's why you go to your fridge and you got your Hershey syrup and you're going to squirt that thing all up in there as well. And basically, you're just going to make a culmination drink, a concoction of death, as we call it, of milk and sweet stuff. No raw sugar though. That goes way too far because we already have too much of that. This is the point where a conventional sort of chef would tell you to blend it all together. No.
Right, in some sort of shaked milk beverage.
Nope, not me. Do you know what I do? I say, just look at it intently. Give it that glare of death. Be like, ooh, you're gonna taste good. I know it. You're gonna taste good. It doesn't matter. That's when you take out your spoon, you stir it up for as much as you want, as long as you want, until your arm gets sore, and then you go, slurp it down. Boom, delicious sweetened milk beverage right there.
There's some sort of like chalky milk. Stirred, not shaken.
Aggressively stirred. In fact, if you don't want to get your arm sore, put it on your throw a magnetic stirrer in there. Put it on your Bunsen burner. Slightly warm it up and turn on the magnetic stirrer portion and let it stir and heat up a little bit. And you will have a slightly warm and stirred sweetened beverage all ready for your dessert.
If I don't have a Bunsen burner, can I just leave it on my laundry machine for a cycle while I'm making the rest of my dinner?
See, I've tried that. You got to put it inside the dryer to get accurate results.
That checks out, yeah.
If you want, put a cap on it. Not necessary. You can just wring out the shirts when you're done.
Right, into your cup again. Yeah, that's delicious.
Into your cup, and then that's pretty good. That adds a little bit of that cloth natural flavor for those crunchy types out there.
Well, Eric, I think it's time to thank our sponsors and then bon appetit. Am I right?
I've never heard it better, Alex.
This podcast is brought to you by Arnold Oat Nut Bread. The oatier and nuttier, the better the bruschetta. Arnold Oat Nut Bread.
When you're right, you're right. We couldn't have done it without homegrown hops, a signature staple in our kitchen here at the Just Do It Brothers podcast, where we actually don't do anything with them. It's just for the aesthetics, but they do make some good beer. But we don't eat beer; we drink it like classy, civilized men.
For all of you keeping track at home, the hops are officially over the top of the ski chair. So thus concludes your betting window. That would have been May 29th, I believe, was the day.
I do believe that was the day.
If you had May 29th on your hops get tall bingo betting card, then you're taking home the prize.
Let's see. We couldn't have done it without washer and dryer combination sets. So just throw whatever you need in there. It oscillates. It heats. It rinses. It's got everything you need. Just throw your dishes right in there. It'll clean them up, and then also throw your dishes. I mean your I don't know, glasses of milk in there, and it'll get it to the perfect temperature for you.
This podcast is brought to you by Eric, this is awkward.
Oh, why? What is it?
This podcast is brought to you by Whole Milk, the superior milk, now with extra vitamin D. Don't go toning down your milk because you're trying to lose weight by getting 2%. Get the big fat whole milk. Oh, not Eric.
Well, Alex, the worst part is I can't disagree. Whole milk, it's far superior.
Well, we did take your money, so
it's just far superior.
All right.
Which brings us to our next sponsor, okay? Which is Big Rosé. Now cooking rosé. It's a whole lot stronger, tastes even more grittier and terrible, but it doesn't go in any of the drinks or any concoctions here. It's just a drink to get hammered, so that way this food that we advertise tastes even better. That's right, get your 29% cooking rosé now in stores.
Rosé is also, they told us that they are now offering a new product called 2% Rosé, which you should be able to substitute 1-for-1 into any recipe that calls for 2% milk. I don't know what's in it, but that's what they claim.
Oh God, I don't think. Please don't do it. Please don't do it.
It is vegan and also organic.
Oh, it will definitely give you cancer.
Made of non-organic chemicals. I read that wrong. But yeah, anyway, 2% cooking rosé, any substitute for milk, 1-to-1 ratio. That's their new product. All right, Eric, let's get this podcast out of here. I'm Alex.
I'm Eric.
And for the love of God, man,
I'm extremely sorry that you guys just listened to this, but send